Okay, I'd like to call the October 22nd, 2024 council meeting to order and start with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence to remember the service and sacrifices of the armed service members who protect our nation and the first responders who protect our neighborhoods. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Here.
Councilwoman Noon. Here. Councilman Brooks. Councilman Sackett.
Here.
Councilwoman Brooks. Here. Councilman Quinn.
Here.
Councilman Wojtovich.
Here.
Council Vice President Salberg.
Here.
Council President Marson.
Here. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Daily Record and the Star Ledger, the official newspapers for the Township of Rockaway. Notice was posted on the official bulletin boards of Rockaway Township, the Township website, and notice was filed in the office of the Township Clerk. Approval of the minutes for the October 8th Township Council regular meeting. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander.
Abstain.
Councilwoman Noon.
Yes.
Councilman Sackett.
Yes.
Councilwoman Brooks.
Yes.
Councilman Quinn.
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich.
Yes.
Council Vice President Salberg.
Yes.
Council President Marson.
Yes, it's 7 yeses, 1 abstention. Motion passes. Before we get into the meeting, Mayor Jackson, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And I'll turn my back to you. I apologize. So, when Suzanne and I first moved to Rockaway over 20 years ago, we were told by a real estate agent how good the schools are here. And all three of our children went to the Rockaway Township schools. And I must say, we have some of the best schools in the state, if not, definitely in the county, but in the state, we have some of the best schools. And I'm honored tonight to recognize Dwyer Elementary School, and I'd like to ask Mr. McGovern and any of the staff members, come on up if you want to. So I can tell you, Mr. McGovern doesn't want to be up here because he said this about his teachers and this about his staff, but I can tell you from being on the Board of Ed, it starts with the top and the tone and his ability to enable his teachers to achieve great things is something that I think he's been doing for a long time, and I know his staff appreciates that. So I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas the mission of the Catherine A. Dwyer Elementary School is to nurture a supportive culture, embracing individual diversity that will ensure academic, social, and emotional success for all. And whereas the Catherine Dwyer Elementary School is as unique as the population due to its floor plan and environment, and encompassing its motto. What's its motto? No walls, no limits. And whereas every year the U.S. Department of Education seeks and celebrates great American schools that demonstrate that all students can achieve high levels, the National Blue Ribbon Award affirms the hard work of educators, families, and communities, creating a safe and welcoming environment where students master challenging and engaging content. And whereas based on the hard work of the students, staff, families, and administration, the Catherine Dwyer Elementary School has been awarded the 2024 National Blue Ribbon Award. And whereas the National Blue Ribbon Award recognition means that Catherine Dwyer Elementary School is among New Jersey's and the nation's highest performing schools, now therefore I, Joe Jackson, Mayor of the Township of Rockaway, hereby commend Catherine Dwyer Elementary School family for their achievement and recognition as a 2024 National Blue Ribbon recipient. Congratulations. And I'd like to recognize Dr. Corbett couldn't be here tonight. He's at the convention down in Atlantic City, but he wanted to send his regards. And Board of Ed President Tanya Shields is here tonight, and I'm just honored to be up here with all of you. So let's get a photo op. Come on. Go. Okay. So raise your hand if you want us to take a 5-minute break so you can all leave. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Did I remember everything?
The teachers, they know how to leave quietly.
And now we're back to our normal crowd.
Yeah, it just went down. That's why I saw those people get nervous. I'm like, is that a proclamation?
Yeah. I should warn you
What's
all.
going
yeah.
on?
I
Yeah.
should warn you so
need
you're
to
not
warn us.
stressed when you come
I was
in.
stressed. I walked in, I was very stressed. Stressed.
Up north with the
Yes.
forest fire.
Thanks for leaving me behind.
Yeah. I certainly tried to keep
Right. Right.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, I think we should do these proclamations at the end of the meeting. From now on. Okay, moving on to the open to the public portion. Nobody filled out the sheet. Is there anybody in the public, either of you, that wish to speak? Okay. As per the ordinance that's up for adoption tonight, I'm going to make a motion to pull the ordinance for further consideration at a later time due to feedback that we received from the planning committee yesterday.
I'll second that.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander,
Yes, the poll.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Quinn,
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich,
Yes.
Council Vice President Salberg,
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 8 yeses, motion passes. Consent agenda, R24-180 and R24-181. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon,
Yes.
Councilman Sackett,
Yes.
Councilwoman Brooks,
Yes.
Councilman Quinn,
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich,
Yes.
Council Vice President Salberg,
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 8 yeses, motion passes. Before I move on, Lisa, item 11, best practices discussion, I didn't catch that. What is that?
Oh, that's me.
Okay, let's do that.
So, sure. So every year, for the past, since 2010, we've been required to fill out what's called the best practices questionnaire. I complete it with the help of my department heads and report it to the Division of Local Government Services. It's currently on our website now, but it's best practice pertaining to ethics, personnel, budget, finance, capital projects, transparency, procurement, cybersecurity, lead remediation, shared services. And this year we had a new section on affordable housing, which we just had a meeting on, redevelopment, utilities, and environment. So there was a total of 46.5 total questions that would have been answered correctly. We scored 44.5, which comes to about just over 96% that we scored, which entitles us to our full allotment of state aid for 2024. And again, if you want to look at the questionnaire in detail, it's on our website under government transparency. Go ahead.
Okay, moving on to reports. As a reminder, we'd like to keep it to 5 minutes or less. And welcome back, Councilman Friedlander.
Thank you.
I know you're due 2 months' worth of reports, but you still get the same 5 minutes.
No, I will do those reports next month,
All right.
even though I know what went on.
I know
I
you
wasn't there, so I'm not going to report yet. I do have a question for the administration.
Lisa.
Lisa,
Yes.
question for you, down here. Okay.
I'm looking over there.
I can tell. I know it affected me, but I think it affects the whole council. When I was out, I called into the clerk, and I wanted to attend the meeting from outside the building. And I was told we have no way of doing it, whether it be phone, which I know years past, we did by phone, or any other way. I'd like to address that, because if that's true, I think it's important, not only for myself that I had that experience, but for the entire council moving forward, that if anyone can miss and still be available to come into the meeting. So I want to know if that's true and what we can do to correct it.
I'm going to defer to the council president on that.
Yeah, so there are rules in place, and keep in mind, a lot of these were put in place not with the best intentions with the group that was here before all of us, right? We currently don't have any good way to convey, if somebody's online, like their speech, there's no monitors, you can't hold up a phone to the microphone, things like that. There is a process in place now where if you're going to be absent, you have to inform the council president, and then there has to be a vote of the council to approve if somebody's going to attend virtually. I spoke to Mr. Yatrufano about this because a lot of these rules were kind of adjusted on the fly for COVID. My personal opinion is this is not a remote job, right? It's 2 Tuesdays a month. I think you should be in person. I understand you.
It was an extenuating circumstance.
Obviously you could not. But, to use an example, Jack, when you were sick, you didn't come to the meetings, right?
I came in a wheelchair.
Right, but, no, you understand my point. My concern is that in the future, we don't want it to be where, I'm on vacation or I just don't feel like coming in tonight. So we're going to do it remotely. Just so you know, Councilman Solberg also asked to do it remotely, and I told him no also, right? So it wasn't just you. I feel very strongly, this is an in-person job. I understand there's extenuating circumstances. However, we do have rules in place to protect you or anybody else in cases like that, where if you have a certain amount of unexcused, and certainly it would be excused, if you have unexcused meetings, then you can be removed from the council, right? If you're sick, it's very unfortunate, but I understand what you're saying. I respectfully disagree, but it's something that, let's get together and see if there's somewhere in the middle that we can meet.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah,
hoping
no,
for.
listen, there's certainly circumstances.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry? Yeah, go ahead.
I feel that we have an ordinance in place, and that ordinance should have been followed, and it wasn't. So I think the ordinance committee needs to get together and relook at that ordinance and make some changes, if that's necessary.
And just for clarification, the beginning of that ordinance is the person contacting the council president, right? So, but yeah, I agree. Let's send this to the ordinance committee, and I certainly think it's worth reviewing. That's what we're here for.
And that's all I ask, because it had to, it happened to me.
Right.
And I certainly can talk on the phone, I couldn't get here.
Listen, those circumstances have not arisen since COVID, and I think you
Yeah.
shine the light as a good opportunity to revisit it.
Yeah, options, so,
Yeah, okay.
if it can be,
Yep.
fine, if it can't, I understand.
I agree.
Okay. That was my one question. On another note, because of what happened to me, I just want to put a shout out to 911 people and the first responders. Because if I didn't have them, with my wife calling, I wouldn't be talking tonight. So, first respond, I get choked up when I think about it,
Andy, I know exactly what you.
Exactly, so, and that's why I always support the group of people, because above and beyond, man, and, you talk about it and you see it happen to other people, and you could reflect on it and say, hey, that's a good idea, but when it happens to yourself, it's a whole new ballgame, so. And as far as, I'll make up the reports next month
Oh, I
for
know
all
you
the ones I missed.
Threefold.
Thank you, I'm finished.
Councilwoman Newby.
Yeah, just three quick things. Another excellent job done by the fire departments for the fire inspection this past Saturday. They do an excellent job every year, and that's just all there is to it. Looking forward to Darks Lake, which is this coming up Saturday at Parks Lake from 5:30 to 8:30. That's always a fun time. I think they're expecting like over 4,000 kids this year. And the other thing I just want to mention, I know we talked about it in the beginning of the summer, but now that it's getting dark earlier, I almost hit two kids on their bikes today coming here because it was dark and they just went right out in the road, didn't even attempt to stop, and if it wasn't for their reflectors on their wheels, I wouldn't have seen them. So just parents can teach your kids about bike safety, especially in the dark. That's it.
I have quite a few things. Just want you guys to know, I did my cybersecurity and I got 100%, so just putting it out there. So,
Well, and that's a good point. If everybody does the cybersecurity, there's a discount
Right.
or a rebate that we get with our insurance.
so, just so you guys know, I'm a model cyber community member. I emailed Lisa my certificate, or Allison my certificate. I'd like to say I'm super bummed that I couldn't attend the inspection this year. I had a personal commitment that I could not move around, but I was really happy to see. I got some text messages about things that I've been asking about over the years, so I was so excited to see that some of those upgrades and things have been done. I'd also like to thank the fire departments, all the volunteers, all of our mutual aid, New Jersey Forestry, the administration, with the wildfire out over on the Green Pond Road, over there between Jacobs and the tower. I will ask someone to explain to me what a microwave fire is, because when I Google it, it just gives me microwaves on fire. But everyone's done an exceptional job in administration with the communication, chief, everybody. Like, I just can't thank everyone enough for keeping the community up to date as much as they can. And let's just hope, I never thought I'd ever say this, but please, let's hope for some rain. Some wells are drying up in Ward 6.
I saw that.
So unfortunately, it's really just a problem. I know we can't control it, but let's everyone do a little bit of a rain dance. I got the opportunity to attend the Hibernia Library open house on yesterday. Super great time. It's awesome. It was great to talk to some of the board members, the director, Scott, the librarians. It's just such a great little library. We're very fortunate to have it. It's a historical building, so having some conversations with them, talking about the facade. I know they have spoken, hopefully, to the administration soon about in terms of helping them get the grant so that we can paint the building. Since it's a historical building, we can't just, call Sherman Williams or someone and slap a coat of paint on there. It needs to go through a process. So I really look, sorry.
Shots fired.
Are they still around?
That being said, well, Jonathan, that being said, I really hope that the administration can work with the library trustee board and help them with that grant so that we can get potentially that money. I know the county historical committees and the commissioners had mentioned even last night, they have money, they're looking to give it out. Let's make sure we can get that library painted. It's a really great place. Secondly, I would also like to just comment, I reached out to the administration, I had a few residents call me about the corner of Leave Erickson and Whippoorwill. It's a really tough corner. The school buses have been having trouble, making it. They get worried about the bad weather. I'd mentioned it to the administration. I recently was on a walk. I noticed there was paint and measurements and all of these things. So I'm really hoping that a guardrail can be installed sooner than later. Just because, at the end of the day, it's a tough corner for a car, especially in bad weather, to think of a school bus to come around. So I've never been so excited to possibly see a guardrail, fingers crossed. And then also, last but not least, I was just hoping to get a little update, could be via email. I don't want anyone to speak out of turn, but progress on the Telmark Park upgrades. That's all I have. Thank you.
Councilman Quinn?
Thank you. Actually, I'm part of the Dwyer family there because my grandkids go there, and I'm very proud of that group. They do a great job. And so getting back to the firemen's dinner and the inspection. You guys do a fantastic job, and God bless you guys because you're fighting that fire up north and with the forest department. And I talked to Jeff this afternoon because I did the security thing too. And thank you, I have my certificate too. So, and what a pain in the neck.
Don't hurt nobody, Jack.
And what a pain in the neck. But yeah, but it's done. But yeah, so the fire department, I was talking with Jeff, and because the fire is actually burning under the ground, because all that leaves and brush and everything is compiled down, so basically it's burning up. The fire's gone down and it's now burning. It's like if you had a garbage dump fire that just is going to continue to burn. And the only way to do it is rake the hell out of it and spray it down. And that's what they've been doing. The Forest Service was going to send some guys up from South Jersey, from the Pinelands, but of course they got a fire going on down there now. I saw that on the news before I came here. So I don't know if they're going to be able to, but yeah, they're working hard. They did a great job. I know our police department's done a great job on controlling the flow of people and traffic. You get people that want to sightsee, and this is not the time to do it. School buses, yeah, the school bus time, and there is some cars still forgetting that when that red stop sign comes out, they need to stop. There was a complaint sent to me from somebody on Fleetwood that a car came around the bus, and the kid luckily was not in the path this time, where the father had to pull him out. But, you know, I hope all these buses have cameras. I asked for them all to have it so that we can prosecute these people, and I'd love to get it and make one person a good example, because our kids are our life, so we got to keep moving. All right. Planning board last night, I'm happy to let everybody know that 25 Green Pond Road, which was the Little Learner, and there was another little company in there. There's a company coming in that basically does donuts for Dunkin' Donuts. So they are going to get deliveries of these two tractor trailers of whatever they're going to have for all these Dunkin' Donuts, and they are going to make the donuts and everything and then disperse them to the Dunkin' Donuts from here. So it's a really good operation. This is the second one that this guy that was at our meeting is owning, and it looks like it's going to be very well received. I know I'm glad to have a good rateable up there, so that'll be fun. We also had New Jersey Natural Gas coming in. They didn't have their ducks in a row, so they're going to be coming back to us for more information that we wanted, and hopefully they get their act together. Let's see, Dwyer. And Peterson Field, I've been spending a lot of time there, as everybody knows, with the football and cheerleaders. Now, I still can't get over this weather. My grandson's sweating through his uniform every night, so it's crazy. But other than that, God bless everybody, and let's keep moving forward. Thank you.
Two follow-ups. One, I volunteer for any inspections at the donut factory. Councilman Solberg would like to know if there's going to be an outlet there for the imperfects.
No, there is no outlets, they said. And they do have locked compactors because the bears would be up there eating and getting really fat.
Councilwoman Brooks, you
I
have a
was just
question?
wondering, you said 2 trucks, Jack? Is it 2 trucks a day? And do you know what time they're gonna be delivering?
Yeah, they're going to be off hours because I brought that up about the school buses and traffic. So what they do is they bring in 2 trailers usually 2 trailers a week to start. And then they do the production right there. And then they have box trucks that go out.
Okay.
All this is done early in the morning. You know that commercial, time to make the donuts? Well, that's what it is. It's time to make the donuts. They get up early, they do it, they run 2 shifts. Usually the first shift is 60 people, the second shift is 30, and then they have drivers that come in and out, load up and go. So,
Thank you.
Yep.
The trucks are just getting
That
really
was,
bad.
that was all vetted out. You know,
Yeah.
Katie wouldn't have voted on it.
oh no, she wouldn't have.
No, the trucks are just getting really
Yeah.
bad, especially in that part of Green Pond Road, all hours of the day, especially the FedEx trucks. And then they make their own lane, it's like, it's getting bad. So I was just curious.
Yeah, no, they,
Hopefully they won't add to my.
they put it on the record that they will be off hours, so.
Perfect,
Is
thank you,
there
Jack.
any truth to the coincidence that it's across the street from the dispensary, the donut shop?
Well, it's like the one over here at the mall, at the
Location,
strip
location.
mall.
Nice. All right, let's get back on track. Councilman Sackett.
It's pretty hard to follow.
Donuts.
Dispensaries and all this
Dunkin'
crazy stuff
Donuts,
going on.
baby.
Welcome back, Councilman Friedlander.
Yeah.
I know you pretty much went through hell and back, so welcome back. Great to
Yeah.
seen you a lot, but great to. You went to heaven and back, so welcome back. I was going to go to Crunch Fitness tomorrow, but I'm thinking I may go check out Fitness Factory. It's common, so I got to see. But yeah, girls rec basketball has started, and I'm happy to report I'm coaching 7th and 8th grade girls rec basketball, assistant coach. So looking forward to being back in rec. So
Good luck.
very, very fun stuff. And last chance to coach my youngest. The fire department inspections, I was able to hook up with in White Meadow Lake, Hibernian, and Marcella, and lots of hard work was shown that they pride, and the fire department does an outstanding job. I was at the Civics Affairs Committee last night, the Candace night, White Meadow Lake, and Pat Degnan, and just excellent job, and it's by Pat and them, and it's not easy to run for public office, to put yourself out there, and thank you for everyone that came and listened to my spiel, so thank you so much. I wanted to send congratulations to the new White Meadow Lake POA president, Lauren Bianchi, and all the others that were elected in the election a couple weeks ago. Same thing, it's not hard, it's volunteer, a lot of hours put in with that. Like Mary said, Dark Lake this Saturday, 5:30 to 8:30. Halloween coming up after that, just like you were talking about with the bikes and everything. Make sure we're safe out there. These kids running around. Just important to keep our eyes and ears open. I'm sure the chief may say something about that, safety. And also, before our next meeting, there's an election, and it's, I know Rachel likes to mention this a lot, and people like to complain, but we've earned our right to vote. Whether you're going to vote early, vote by mail, or day of, go out and vote. Thank you.
Councilman Patovich.
Yeah, so this past Saturday, I also attended the fire inspection, and like all the other council members said, it was great as always. The fire department does a great job, and we have rigs that are 25, 30 years old, and they look like they just rolled off the assembly line. So it's it shows their commitment to the equipment that we purchase with the taxpayers' funds. And also, I hope that we invest in more equipment for the fire department. They always speak about, new rigs, and I know they're very expensive, but I'm sure that the administration is always thinking forward and setting money aside, so these guys have some of the best equipment available. And one last thing that I have is some of the residents are still reaching out to us, and I've spoken to some personally about the leaks that we've had in some of the closed sessions. I know that we voted it down or whatever it is, but I want to see if, I don't know, with the council president or with the attorney, if there's something that could be done, or, I don't know. I mean, I just feel that if we go to a closed session, people might not speak their mind thinking that some information might leak out. So I'm open to any suggestions for either the council president or the attorney.
Are you done with your report?
That's it, yeah.
So, I agree with Councilman Witovich, we did have a serious breach of confidentiality here, and we know that it came from the council, right? So what I would like to do is, and I've spoken to Mr. Yachafano about this, I'd like to put out a motion to direct the attorneys to draft a code of ethics. We currently do not have a code of ethics for the council. It would spell out, the process, what needs to be done, and, other pieces that I'm probably not thinking about. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to make a motion to direct our attorneys to research and draft a code of ethics.
So this would be going forward for all future councils also.
This is going to be drafted to
And
represent.
Would that be a ordinance that we would put in, John?
Yes, Councilman, it would probably be incorporated in the code.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilman Freelander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noon?
Yes.
Councilman Sackett?
Yes.
Councilwoman Brooks?
Yes.
Councilman Quinn?
Yes.
Councilman Wojtovich?
Yes.
Council Vice President Salberg?
Yes.
Council President Martin?
Yes, that's 8 yeses, motion passes. Ms. Yachafano will discuss with you, I guess, what the next steps are. Thank you. Council Vice President.
Thank you. Again, the fire inspection is always kind of a privilege to be on. You meet a lot of friends that you know, you meet new ones, but of course, just thank them and really be awed by the volunteerism that they've given to our town. While riding with Jeff, talking about the needs of each of the departments, I'm looking forward to seeing their budget requests this year because, as Councilman Wojtovich said, we really need to equip them with the absolute best. They got a hard job, and it's amazing how many calls they really go on. You don't realize. I also would like to thank Pat Degnan for the Meet the Candidates last night. I think it's a very important part of the democratic process to be able to meet them and not just see a postcard. So I look forward to that, and I'm glad that that's an ongoing tradition. Again, Manny, Bubala, glad you're back. So, good to see you. Great seeing you last night. You had quite an entrance. Everybody stopped what they were doing and applauded. Even the candidates. So that was nice. One piece. Earlier in the year, I think it was prior to the summer, I just made a brief mention of it, but I haven't heard anything new. I haven't heard any updates on the town master plan. Obviously not looking for anything tonight, but I would hope to see in the near future maybe an update, status, and ultimately to have a presentation on that. That's all I have.
Okay, I only have two things. One, this Saturday is fall cleanup. I know I will be at Mount Hope Pond cleaning up after the Brookses. I'm sure I'll see some of you guys there. So this year it's Mount Hope and Lake Ames? Okay, yeah, so I'll be at Mount Hope this year, so I hope to see some of you there. The other thing is as Councilman Sackett brought up, 2 weeks from today is Election Day. No matter who you vote for, get out and vote. I believe early voting starts on the 29th, 26th. The two nearest here are Denville and Boonton. I usually do early voting. It is incredibly easy, and you don't have to worry about, losing time on Tuesday and waiting in line. Just get out and vote. This is a very important election, and there's a lot on the tickets this year.
Now mindful of the new election spots, too.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Yachafano.
Thank you, Council President. First of all, Manny, welcome back.
Thank you.
It's very, very good to see you. With respect to the ordinance that was tabled tonight, 02414, my recommendation to the council is that in view of the planning board action, I have a copy of the planning board letter to the council. What I'd like to do with your permission is give you a memo on what the council's alternatives are at this point and go from there. We've also been asked by the mayor to develop an ordinance with respect to recreational vehicles at our parks. We've had a couple of problems recently, and hopefully in the next meeting or two, I'll have something to submit to the ordinance committee and subsequently to the council about that. I also want to keep you advised of the progress of the code enforcement matter pending against Mr. Kelly for going on 3 years now. That matter, as I believe I informed the council, went to Superior Court on our appeal. The Superior Court agreed with us in terms of reversing the determinations made by the municipal court judge and admitting evidence which the municipal court judge did not allow or wasn't available at the time. So we have a status conference coming up on that at the end of November, and I'll be able to give you some more information after that status conference. And one cautionary comment with respect to the Dunkin' Donuts production facility. I'd like to remind the council president that following too closely is a motor vehicle offense.
Officer, can we please expel? Mr. Mayor.
I hope you weren't counting on getting out of here early, so I'd like to start just by commending our police chief. I think he's only been doing it for a little while, but I think we have the best police chief in the state. So Saturday's the one day a year the firefighters have off. It's the one day a year they're not on call. It's the one day a year that our entire town is backed up by other towns. And so it was a very unique situation when that fire broke out, and I'll just give you all insight for transparency. So we had one person at the fire. That was Chief Shear. He was up there probably 20 hours on Saturday. Sunday he was there. He was there today. He was there yesterday. But on Saturday in particular, he was reporting to us what was going on and helping, us try to make decisions about what we should do. Chief D'Amico, Deputy Chief Miller, in terms of where we're at and what should be happening. And I just want to thank him for his commitment to our township and to our residents, because I think having him up there was instrumental in being able to still have the inspections and do what we did, and allowed our volunteers to celebrate their hard work. But as the day went on and the fire started progressing and things became more serious, and for those of you who were at the banquet, I think you would notice there was a tone in the room that was different, and I made some comments, and Chief D'Amico made some comments, and we made very clear that, early the next day, fire companies were going to, be strapping on their gear and getting ready to roll into the woods. And I will tell you, you will not see many people more fired up than Adam Power was that night. Then, you look at Company 3 and you see Robert Parks sitting there with his table and nobody's drinking. You've been to these fire banquets, nobody's drinking. They're talking about tomorrow, what they're going to be doing, what it means. These volunteers all know where these houses are in the woods, and it was a different banquet than we've ever had before. And immediately, I think 4:00 in the morning, Chief D'Amico and Deputy Chief Miller were in the woods, and then our guys started rolling in. Our crews started rolling in about 6 or 5 in the morning, and they've pretty much been there since, battling this fire. And it's just no house is lost is a miracle, and I think it's through the efforts of I thank the New Jersey Forest Fire Service, in addition to all the mutual aid agencies. I think Kinnelon, Booton, there were Butler maybe. Just it's really a miracle that no houses were lost. And I just, again, can't thank the chief enough for what he did. And Chief D'Amico, I'm trying to get him to go home and rest, and he's kind of refusing to. And it's what, this is what these guys are about, these people are about. They're I think he made the comment, like, I'm not leaving here until I know all of our residents are safe. So I want to commend all those people I just spoke about. So that's that. We did get I saw a nice post on Facebook. We had an emergency last night. We have the best police department. The woman I spoke to the whole time on the other end of the police desk was so kind. The police officers were here in minutes. We are so lucky. We have the best. Love this community. And those are the types of things that are awesome to read. I did receive an email, somebody, I know it's not November yet, but November is Children's Grief Awareness Month, and the third Thursday of each month of each November is recognized as Children's Grief Awareness Day. Children's Grief Awareness Month raises awareness about the impact of grief children and provides opportunity to support those who experience loss. And there's a nonprofit called Good Grief that helps with that in New Jersey. So if anybody's interested in the public, they can reach out to my office and we'll give you information on that. I also want to give an update on Enholm Field and Norway Field. I've been in extensive negotiations with the owners that purchased Norway Field and their attorney. I've been working closely with the head of our soccer program, and we've pretty much are getting close to signing a deal that will basically allow soccer to use the field the same amount they're using it now. And I think the soccer, my conversations with the head of soccer, he's thrilled of the deal we're able to work out. And so the township attorney is going to work on a lease agreement with the new owners of the field, and hopefully we'll have that in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, we are still pursuing Enholm Field and what we can do up at that field for the north end of town, and maybe eventually make that the hub of soccer going forward. So we have a call Thursday, I believe, with the state to discuss next steps and possibly getting that back. I think we have a great community. We have so many great volunteers and people that do things. I want to recognize specifically Sam Antonelli and the Interact Club from Morris Knolls. They collected a huge amount of items for hurricane relief, I believe it was last week or the week before, and I didn't want that to get lost in the fire we're having in town. But just a high schooler organizing with a group of her friends, collecting, I want to say it was like a tractor trailer full of supplies for hurricane relief, so I want to recognize that. Some good things happened. We went to a KDM PTA meeting. There's a lot of good things happening in the schools. We had the ribbon cutting for the Dermatology and Laser Center. I think Councilman Noon went to that. It's an incredible facility. It's on the corner of Sanders Road and Green Pond Road. Really good. On the 11th, got to give a proclamation to Andy Stewart. Andy's a Marcella, grew up in Marcella, and he got promoted to colonel in the Air Force. So got to go to that ceremony. It was unbelievable. Had a good time. Went to the Women's Club meeting of Denville and Rockaway. And they do a lot of work, nonprofit work, and we're actually the state president is going to be getting involved in some of the planning for the community garden. She has experience for that. Copeland PTA meeting, we found out from Principal Bear, I guess they do recess now, and they are looking for sports equipment for students. So if you wanted to get some and donate it, or if you're the type of person that seems to be able to get people to give free things, Howard, they're looking for like little soccer nets, I believe is what it was, right? And things like that. So, that's something I wanted to put out there if anybody's interested. Board of Ed meeting was good this month. We didn't stay long, but they recognized the PTA volunteers, and there were a bunch of them there and gave them out awards. I thought that was really good. And Candidates Night, I thought was well done. I think Councilman Sackett did a great job, and you talked about Rachel possibly getting more money to do the library from the commissioners. Maybe if we had somebody from Rockaway on there, we'd get that money. So I did want to also point out, I left these for council members, so these are cards, and I'm going to apologize to the clerk now because I'm sure some dimwit's going to do an Oprah request, but I ordered these cards and paid for them myself. And these are cards that we have on the desk out there for new residents, and I'd encourage you to take some if you want, if you have new residents in your ward or in your neighborhood. But basically with this QR code, you put your camera over and you press the button, and it takes you to our new resident page, and you're able to pull up, where who you go for garbage, who you pay your electric bill, where your kids are going to go to school, how to sign up for 911, 911 and the rave alerts, all the things that new residents call or don't know how to do. It's in one place, and all they got to do is use their smartphone to do it. So I'll keep a pile here. Allison has some in the mayor's office too, if you want to get some from there. And that's all I got.
Ms. Palmieri?
All that, yeah, very nice. The budget packets were distributed to our department heads about a week and a half ago. They will be due early November. I'll have a chance to review them. Then we're going to hold budget hearings the week of Thanksgiving after everybody comes back from the league. And we'll be wrapping it up. I'll be presenting it to the mayor and ultimately to the council, like we have in the past, probably around mid-February, and then hopefully schedule like the Saturday meeting if that's what you choose to do. I think we did that early March last year and the year before that.
Yeah, those Saturday meetings worked out really well. The council did a great job last year in vetting out any information they needed ahead of time.
Yep.
And we're going to look to do that again.
So, yep, so we're on the same track pattern, I would say. Okay?
Good.
That's all I have.
Ms. Fronte?
And we appreciate the food. That Saturday.
Okay.
To Councilman Salzberg's comment regarding the master plan, the last, I believe, but I'll have to look it up, I believe it was last updated in 2019. And in accordance with municipal land use law, it needs to be updated every 10 years. So we'll be looking to update that in 2029. I'll have to confirm the dates. But what we are required to update is our open space and recreation plan. That will be on the agenda, a short presentation, November 12th meeting, discussing the context. What is our open space and recreation plan, our updates, and what we can look for. Also on November 12th, there'll be a brief open to the public on Green Acres notice of the proposed upcoming change of use at Peterson Field, changing it from the foresty woodland to a more active and passive recreation of the bocce ball courts, the playground equipment, pavilion, and what am I forgetting?
Community garden.
Community garden. That's the end of my report.
Mr. Tappan?
Thank you, Council President, and thank you also, just a quick update, thanks for reminding everybody about the cleanup day this Saturday from 9 to 11, and it's correct at Mount Hope Pond, Lake Ames. Our Chief Environmental Health Specialist, Kara Selena-Wyberth, does put that together every year for us, so we're grateful for that. Just also a reminder that flu shots will take place November 7th and November 22nd in this room, and also that rabies clinics will take place November 9th and December 7th up at the Road Garage. All of those events, from the cleanup to the rabies to the flu, residents just need to call us at the Division of Health and we can register them. Thank you.
Thanks. Chief?
Good evening, Council President, members of the council. Thank you for those kind words. Those are one of the things that I often bring up is Team Rockaway, all right, and standing in the gap for others, right? So as the officers and all those that I serve with do the same thing on a regular basis. In reference to, just as a side note, as an update to the Jacobs and Tower Road or microwave fire, the Tower Road is actually two towers, microwave towers that are up off of at the intersection of Jacobs Road and Coppers Ridge Road, and therefore, hence the microwave terminology on the fire for the operational plans. That being said, there were just so many involved in helping to protect our community. All of the mutual aid departments that responded, the county, OEM, that the help was one of my resources as well. In terms of the Morris County Sheriff's Department also was helping, brought up a lot of different pieces of equipment that were very vital during those initial times during that phase of the operation. The New Jersey firefighters, the Forestry Service, an amazing group of people working extremely hard in, again, the 77 acres that's been affected by the fire. That being said, the volunteers in the Rockaway Township Fire Department, again, what an amazing group of volunteers that have come out. And again, just like we spoke about and the mayor made mention of, just even at the temperament that they had during that event, knowing that, in fact, they wanted to be there, they want to come out, they want to help, they want to serve. They came out and they continue to do so during this operational phase. I would remind everybody you can get the updates from the fire service through the links. I've sent them via Rave and Facebook, which will give you the latest information that they have. The operational period typically will go from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., at which time any updates would follow via that link. I believe the last number was between 85 and 90%, and the 77 acres. Just as a follow-up, there are many to protect all of the properties up there. They have, for argument's sake, about a mile of hose running through that area with sprinklers set up to keep everything down. They patrol all evening long. They'll have a patrol there as well. They look for hot spots and to knock everything back down again. So also, obviously, it's from Tower Road at the corner of Tower Road, Copperswood Road, and Jacobs all the way down to just north of the township dump. All right, so that's the active area, and again, the containment, and they've worked extremely hard to protect everybody. So I'd like to thank all of them. Yes, and thank you very much. I meant to also mention Al Noth and Dennis Brothers. They've done an amazing job. Also, their knowledge to help, in particular, for all the different ins and outs within that area, to help the New Jersey Forestry Service get in there and fight between the rocks, the ledges, the mine holes, all different things that were in there, and just to navigate that their knowledge was quite a great thing to have. So they did an excellent job providing that, and also came out all weekend to help provide information that was needed and vital. As far as going on to the police department, we continue to have Shop with a Cop that will forward some information in November. So Detective Brown will get some information out there in reference to when that event's going to take place. We also have 10/26 between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. We have the DEA drug take-back at the Walmart and the center of the Rockaway Town Square Mall. School bus safety and the time change is coming up. We talk about that nighttime spectacular, other events that are starting to go on during the evening as daylight disappears early and kids are still out. Please be mindful, make sure that we're driving accordingly, watch for the school buses. Again, they're getting sometimes let off. They're picked up in darkness, and they're dropped off in darkness as well as we get that time change. So please be mindful of your children and drive safely.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.